brief introductions and thank yous, and to give you a little bit more information about what's going to be happening with this entire project. My name is Joseph Jordan. I'm director here at the Stone Center. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for coming out to celebrate our native sister, native daughter, and also to join us in our first program of the year. As you hear Nina singing in the background. This project has been over a year in the making. It is one of those kinds of projects that we were very, very, very happy to undertake because we felt that Nina Simone, Eunice Waymon, was one of those people that kind of served as the soundtrack or provided the soundtrack for a generation. She was one of those folks who was very uncompromising, one of those people who, despite the troubles that she had in her life, still tried to maintain a commitment to social justice, and that is very, very, very much available to us today, fortunately, because so many people are interested in reviving that spirit that she had. Before I go any further, I always have a problem sometimes, and I may forget. People have come up to me and said how wonderful this is, and this is a great thing that I've done, et cetera, et cetera. I want to let you know that the reason you're here and the reason that all of these things came together is because of the staff here at the Stone Center. So instead of thanking them last, I want to thank them first. So Clarissa and April, and Randy is probably circulating around, and Jocelyn, our assistant director, is also here in the audience. I also want to introduce you to a couple of people. First is Professor Carroll Waymon. Many of you have gone over to meet him. Carroll, if you'll come up. This is the brother of Nina Simone and also the source of a good piece of the exhibition. I also want to bring up Alden Kimbrough, who's hanging there in the back. If Alden will come up. For those of you who were fortunate enough to see the Young Lords and Black Panthers exhibition, if you were fortunate enough to see the Paul Robeson exhibition, if you were fortunate enough to see the Black Film Posters exhibition, all of that material came from Alden Kimbrough and his collection. Alden, and for you football heads, Alden also played for Oregon in the Rose Bowl in 1958. So, look back in your book and caught a pass. All right. I also want to give thanks to another set of folks. Chris Ambrose, who was not able to be here, who is the director of the Nina Simone Project down in Tryon, North Carolina. He intended to make it, but unfortunately had an emergency and could not do that today. I want to make sure that we thank Complex Creative, the folks that are responsible for all of the images and the publicity materials that you see, and also help to underwrite part of the project. And I want to thank the Friends of the Sallie Brown Gallery and the Robert and Sallie Brown Gallery and Museum. With special thanks to Wax Poetics. I have to say, I shouldn't say this, but people who came early, the first 25 people got a free copy of Wax Poetics. So maybe we'll do it again, maybe tomorrow. We want to thank our co-sponsors, Center for the Study of the American South, the Department of Women's Studies at UNC Chapel Hill, the Carolina Women's Center, the Department of African and Afro-American Studies, the Department of Jazz Studies, Jim Ketch and the UNC Jazz Ensemble providing the dulcet tones tonight. Thank you, Jim. I see you over there in the back. Thank you so much. And I also want to thank Kappa Omicron Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, who are providing all of the support, logistics. They are counting your heads. They are watching you when you go to the food table, or there is a quota at the food tables to make sure we're doing okay. There is one other piece that I want to mention. Most of you know that as part of this project, we have a commission, a theater presentation, one-act play. We are fortunate that our artist in residence from the spring of 2012, Howard Kraft, was willing to serve as playwright for that piece, so I don't know if he's gone off to rehearsal. Where is Howard? Say, this is Howard. How many of you have listened to the badass stories of Harold Jones on NPR? Well, that is the author of those stories, and they're coming back when?
In the spring.
In the spring. We have a whole new serial that'll be on NPR. I also want to introduce Yolanda Raven, who will be playing the part of Nina. Yolanda, please let folks see you. Those of you who heard the snippet on NPR yesterday, you know you're going to be in for a treat. If you have not reserved your seats, you must reserve your seats. Yes, you have to reserve your seats for either the 7 p.m. Saturday night program or the 2 p.m. Sunday. Seats are going fast. I think there may be maybe 100 seats left on Saturday, maybe an equal number. The auditorium holds 368, so they're continuing to go. So, without further ado, I want to bring up a very, very good friend of the Stone Center and someone who's been a supporter for a number of years. Michelle Lanier, who's from the North Carolina Cultural Heritage Commission, she has one of those titles that I always mess up. So when I wanted to write it down, she said, forget it, I'll introduce myself. So I'm going to let her tell you her exact title. And from this moment on, I promise you, I will never forget it again. Please welcome.
Good evening. So my name is Michelle Lanier, and I am here in official capacity as the director of the North Carolina African American Heritage Commission. So on behalf of the state of North Carolina, on behalf of the Department of Cultural Resources and the African American Heritage Commission, I just would like to join you all in celebrating this momentous occasion. As I said, I'm here in an official capacity, but this is very personal to me. So Nina is one of the names that pulses through my heart, catches my breath, and causes me to stand leaning into all that life is. Nina Simone. I fell in love with Eunice Waymon on a spring Saturday night in 1989. So entranced was I by the sheer poetic and philosophical genius of 4 women that I demanded of my music-loving father, "Do you know about Nina Simone?" As if I had discovered the moon. I watched as a young collegiate woman, a Spelman woman, dance to the narrative of black women's stereotypes being burst and exploded. And I followed Nina's song to Spelman College myself. She carried me to create my first student documentary piece at Wellesley College. She sang French through my mouth here at UNC during a moment of graduate school melancholy. Ne me quitte pas. And when I became a mother, Nina sang through my daughter's mouth the 3-year-old's favorite song, "Tin can at my feet, I think I'll kick it down the street." Some of my dearest relationships are stitched with the words from her mouth. And when I learned what I should have known all along, when I learned that she was North Carolina born, like the women who bore me, that she was a diamond mine in this state of pines, I loved her even more. All of you, each of you could write your own life stories through Nina's songs, as we should. And so standing here on behalf of the North Carolina African American Heritage Commission, it is my sacred work to speak Nina's name, to shine out the light of her brilliant story, along with her Carolina sisters and brothers like Ella Baker and Polly Murray and Romare Bearden and Shirley Caesar and John Coltrane and Anna Julia Cooper and Charlotte Hawkins Brown and Thelonious Monk, and on and on and on. I thank you, Dr. Joseph Jordan and your staff, and all of the exhibit sponsors. And I thank you, Howard and Kathy and Yolanda, for giving us the opportunity to wrap ourselves around Nina's legacy. The way she boldly and brilliantly and incomparably wraps herself all over and around and in each and every one of us. So because I am raising the aforementioned child to be young, gifted, and black, I am momentarily leaving to help her study for a social studies test, but I will be returning to this exhibit over and over again, as I encourage each of you to do, and I will be returning to see the performance so that we can continue to dance to the eternal wisdom that is Nina Simone. Nina Simone. Nina Simone. Yes, she will get an A.
She has to get it.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to end with that. I know some of you want to get back who have not been in to see the exhibition yet. I'm going to give you an opportunity to do that. I do want to mention that this exhibition is really the first coming together of these three separate collections. So what you're seeing is a combined and to some extent culled. These gentlemen have so much material that I could only get half of it up. So at some point in the future, we're going to have to encourage both Carroll and Alden, and also bring in Chris to do some sort of book, right, that includes all of these items so that it can be shared. I mean, you can imagine what will happen when people in France and in Holland and in Great Britain find out about this exhibition and want to know why it hasn't been there. So let's find a way to share some of this material with them. Thanks to all of you for coming out. We love you. We appreciate the fact that you've stayed loyal to the Stone Center, and we hope to see you again, definitely on Saturday night. I don't know about you. It starts at 7. I'm going to be here at 6. All right? All right. Thank you very much.